Hi everyone, thank you for joining me once again. I do apologize for the long absence. I was sick for a few weeks. I'm feeling a lot better now, so today I'm going to talk about sun protection. We are right up against the summer season, at least where I live, and most people will be spending a lot of time outdoors, and it is important to know how to protect yourself from the sun. So let me start by saying that when it comes to skincare, the sun is our biggest enemy. UV rays, UVA and UVB, they cause irreversible damage to our skin. They can lead to wrinkles, sunspots, moles, and at their worst, skin cancer. They can also cause cataracts for your eyes. So, the sun's UV rays are everywhere. It does not matter if it's a cloudy day. It doesn't matter if you're inside all day and you only go outside for 5 minutes to walk to your car. It doesn't matter if you're standing in the shade. It doesn't matter if you're under a beach umbrella. It's there. And you need protection of some sort. It also doesn't matter if you are light-skinned or dark-skinned. A lot of dark-skinned people think that just because they're darker naturally that they don't need protection. That's not true. It is true that light-skinned people are much more susceptible to sun damage than dark-skinned people. However, skin cancer occurs a lot among African Americans, Hispanics, and Filipinos or Native Americans, or people who are naturally born with darker skin. Usually those are the people who are not very careful when it comes to sun protection. Now, when it comes to daily sun protection, you don't need something really heavy. This is something that I've been using for a couple of years. I don't think I actually like this one very much. I stopped using it. This is Clean and Clear Morning Glow with SPF 15. It doesn't have UVA and UVB on it. So I think that's one of the reasons why I stopped using it. It is very important to actually find a sun protection that has both UVA and UVB on the packaging. This one doesn't, so I sort of stopped using it. But the SPF 15 was pretty good for my skin most of the time because I only go outside for 10 minutes a day, and most of the time I'm inside. Now, SPF stands for sun protection factor. The 15, that number, whatever the number is, this one's 15, this one's 30, this one's 40. And what that means is that if your skin naturally burns in, say, an hour after being in the sun, that number will multiply by 15. So instead of burning in an hour, you will burn in 15 hours. Of course, this isn't exactly perfect because you sweat, the lotion it rubs off, so I don't think actually 15 means you'll burn in 15 hours. Scientifically that's what it means, but to be really careful, it's actually a good idea to reapply after you sweat heavily, or if you're in the sun all the time, reapply every 2 hours. Now, during the summertime, this 15 is probably not going to be enough, because 15 is really only good if you step outside for a couple minutes a day and you're not really in the sun all the time. During the summertime, if you're in the sun all the time, if you're at the beach, if you are hiking, if you're at an amusement park, if you're at a picnic, whatever it is, I recommend at least 30. If you have really light skin, if you're very susceptible, then 40 or 50, or Neutrogena just came out with a whole line of 70 and 80. So SPF of 70 or 80 is probably really good if you have light skin and you know that you're going to be in the sun for a long period of time. And always remember to reapply every 2 hours and after you sweat a lot, or if you go in the water. And when you do apply, make sure that you use at least 1 ounce over your entire face and body. 1 ounce is about a shot glass. And that is about how much you need to get the SPF that is written on the packaging. And always to remember to apply 30 minutes before you go into the sun, because that's about how long it takes for your skin to absorb the product and start protecting. Otherwise, you are looking at an additional 30 minutes of exposure without any type of protection at all. Also to remember, there are other things that you can do to protect yourself, such as wearing wide-brimmed hats, not baseball caps, wide-brimmed straw hats, Sunday hats, usually preferably dark colored because they protect better from the sun. And sunglasses. If you wear contacts or glasses, make sure that you get the lenses that have UV protection. If you don't wear glasses or contacts, then sunglasses that protect against UV is also good. Jackets or light shirts can protect your body from the sunlight. However, white t-shirts, they only have an SPF of about 6 or 8. So if you're going to wear a white t-shirt on the beach or hiking or something, make sure you wear some kind of a sun protection underneath, because a white t-shirt is not going to be enough. A dark jacket or shirt will probably provide a lot more protection. So those are a lot more recommended. In Asia, I grew up in China, so in Asia we have it's kind of stylish to have an umbrella for sun protection. So a lot of women, they walk around with these umbrellas over their heads, even if it's not raining. And I think that's a pretty good idea. If you have a nice umbrella of some sort, make sure you pick one that is, once again, dark. The really white umbrellas, if they're see-through, they're probably not going to provide that much protection. So I recommend either an umbrella that has UV protection or a very dark colored umbrella, because most umbrellas are meant for rain and not for sun. Now when you go swimming, I said again, make sure you apply every time you come out of the water. Depending on where you go swimming, if you go to a pool and the water is like crystal clear, nice chlorine blue water, that water is going to act like a magnifying glass, and it's going to intensify the sunlight upon your skin. So if you're going to swim in a pool, it is super important to apply sunscreen to your legs, your feet, your torso, any part that is going to be exposed. If you're going to swim in a lake, or if the water is kind of murky, it's probably not such a big deal. The sunlight probably won't penetrate too far into the water. So you probably don't have to be as careful, but it's still a good idea to be careful. Also to remember that your shoulders, the sun is going to hit this area all the time at a 90-degree angle, regardless of if you're swimming, if you're walking, if you're sitting. If you're sitting upright, this is the area, and also like your collarbone and maybe parts of your neck. These are the areas that are going to be exposed all the time. Your legs and your feet, they might not always be exposed because they're further from the sun. But your shoulders, they are very susceptible. I have gone swimming many times, come home, my shoulders are red, and the rest of my body is not really even burnt. So reapply your shoulders over and over, even if you don't get wet. It's really important. And also your scalp. If your hair is has a part like I do, right along your scalp, you definitely want to apply a little bit, just so that your scalp doesn't get burned. I have been in situations in which I don't wear a hat, I come home and that area, instead of being white, is red. So that's not good either. And if you have friends or siblings or family members who have a bald spot or who are completely bald, then it is just as important for them to apply sunscreen on their scalp. And lastly, don't forget your lips. I'm guilty of this myself. I always forget my lips. I just slap on something last minute. It's not a good idea. You definitely want to use some kind of a chapstick with SPF, or a lip gloss, or a lipstick, some kind of a product that has SPF because your lips are also susceptible to sun damage.